Oh, hello, thanks for watching, welcome to the channel. My name is Gary from ABC Electric, and today's video is what you might put into the rant category, where I got a bad review, a 1-star review of a potential client, potential being the important operative word, before I'd quoted or even done a job. So let's jump straight into today's video. So I'm going to set the background. I went to look at a job late afternoon on a Thursday. It's important you remember that. And it was to change a couple of PIR floodlights and to repair lights mounted in a brick wall, which appeared to be tripping the board out about every 15 to 20 minutes. Now, the person that was at the property showing me around the job didn't speak much English. Say it was the end of the working day. I wasn't fully armed with the information, but I had enough information there to change the 2 floodlights or to price for it. And then the rest of the job, which you'll see from the photographs, is fault finding. So I'm going to put an hourly rate in for it, which I do with all fault finding jobs. Anyway, the woman phoned me, I think before I'd even left site, as I was just in the van, ready to go, making my notes. And she said, you know, I want the price for it. And I said, well, I'll sit down in the office and I'll do you a formal quotation. I said, but the bulk of the job is fault finding. I can only give an hourly rate for that. And she said, I'm not accepting an hourly rate because that's how long is a piece of string. And I said, well, I can't really do it any other way because it is how long's a piece of string. It's fault finding. I don't know if I'm going to find the fault in 1 hour. I don't know if it's going to take me 1 day. You know, what is the time limit on fault finding? So as I said to you, this was Thursday afternoon, probably around just coming up before 4 o'clock. I was on the tools. I had commitments Thursday evening. I was on the tools Friday and I had commitments. Saturday I was on the tools working. Sunday I was out for the day. Monday I was back on the tools working. I have commitments on a Monday evening. This is the same every week. I have commitments on a Thursday night and on a Monday night. So the first opportunity I would have had to do the quote was on the Tuesday evening. Anyway, it's Tuesday evening. I think I've just finished my tea. Get a notification on my phone. Along with all the other notifications that I've not read during the day. So I'm flicking through my phone, looking at the WhatsApp messages, text messages, voicemails, you name it, things from the day, emails, I can't remember. And I get a notification that I've got a new Google review. Oh, right, great. I don't remember asking anybody for one recently, although I ask most clients. I don't get one every single time. Far from it. So we'll look at this review. Wow, it's a negative review. It's a 1-star review. All my other reviews on Google up to now have been 5-star reviews. So I read it. It's from this lady. And it basically says that I'm a waste of time. She's disappointed because all I want is an hourly rate. And I won't give her a price, and I walked away from the job. Well, I'm kind of a bit taken aback at this point. It was the first opportunity of the Tuesday evening that I've had to do this quote, and I was literally going to sit down that evening and do the quote. Anyway, in the interim, she's sent me this this negative Google review saying that I'm a waste of space. Well, I've basically had approximately 2 working days. I'm a one-man business. I do everything in the business, so I'm busy. And yes, I've not jumped on her quote straight away. Maybe I should have done it a bit quicker, but you know, like a lot of tradesmen, some things I forget. I do have systems, but some things I forget. And there are some jobs that I go to and I think that job's not for me. That client's not for me. I'm too busy. I'm not going to be able to fit it in. I might not be the right price. So I'm not saying that I cherry pick across the board, but I don't quote every job. And equally, the jobs that I do quote, I don't expect to get every job that I quote either. But this was a job 2 miles down the road from my house. Looked a fairly wealthy client, looked a relatively easy job, and nice bit of fault finding. I love fault finding work, and I thought I'll get to the bottom of it, solve the problem, I'll give the lady a price. But it was always going to be a fixed price for the PIR floodlights and an hourly rate for the fault finding of these lights buried in a brick wall. Anyway, rightly or wrongly, I was taken aback, I was frustrated, I was angry, I suppose. I sat on it for a few minutes. Probably longer than that, an hour or so, and then I texted the lady back saying I was going to do your price. It's the first opportunity that I've had, but now I won't be doing the price, and it's my prerogative whether I do the quote for you or not. Now I admit I shouldn't have gotten a text exchange with the lady, and there was a couple of texts went backwards and forwards. I didn't use any foul language. I wasn't nasty in any way. I just put my case across and said I think it's a little bit unacceptable that you're giving me a negative Google review when I haven't quoted you, which is obviously what our problem was, or part of the problem, and also when I haven't actually done any work for you, because ultimately I'm a tradesman working in the service industry. If I haven't done any work, how can I get a negative review? So what I did at this juncture was I went on to Google's terms and conditions, looked at whether I could get the review appealed, and went through the process of doing that. Now, Google have got really strict policies, as you would imagine, for what things they will allow to be appealed or repealed in a review. And they fall into categories like terrorism, insulting language, spam or fake reviews, the usual sort of thing which you'd expect. And there's a list of them. I'll try and put that on screen as well. But ultimately, and I really, I considered this and I thought, well, am I going to get this review repealed? Probably not, because it doesn't fall into any of these particular categories. And you can imagine that Google would be inundated if every time somebody got a bad review, they contacted Google and said, can you remove this review? That would be unfair. Equally, when you look at it from a trade person's point of view, I haven't quoted the job. It's not actually a client. I've not received any money for doing anything. It's not as if I've got money for doing the quote. I've given my time for free up to now. I was going to do the quote. I've not even done any work for the lady, and I've got a 1-star negative Google review. All my other Google reviews were 5 stars. So now my overall rating on Google is 4.9. What can I do? Nothing. Well, obviously I was annoyed, I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed. I'm a bit upset that my Google review's gone from being a 5-star electrician down to a 4.9-star electrician. But there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it at all. I put a reply on the Google review, which I think was sensible to do, so that if people read that review, they can see that that client or potential client, they weren't even a client, was unreasonable, and that I also have the right not to quote if I feel as if I don't want to quote. So Thomas Nagy did something similar to this topic recently, which I think the video was customer expectation versus reality. Well, this isn't even a customer. They were a potential customer, and as I said, I've not received any money for anything, and I've got a negative Google review, so it potentially could impact on my business going forward. So I suppose what I'm saying at the end of this is it's a little rant. I wanted to get it off my chest, but also, has anybody else come across the same thing? Is it annoying? Yeah, I want to hear your comments. I mean, obviously it's annoying, it's frustrating. What can you do? This is a potential client. Their expectation is far, obviously in this case, far exceeds reality. And I would have, could I have responded in that time? Probably, if I'd have dropped everything else and not kept the commitments that I had. But I live in the real world. I mean, to me, if I'm going to quote somebody within 2 to 3 working days, that's acceptable. I try to say to most people, I'll quote you by the weekend, because really, with being on the tools and the commitments that I have, and trying to actually have a little bit of a life and some downtime from time to time, it's normally the weekend when I get all my paperwork out the way, or the couple of free evenings that I do have a week. So please let me know your comments. I'm really interested to know. And then I hope you've enjoyed this video. And let's hope that 2022 is a much better year than 2021. And love and peace to all. See you later. Bye.